In this video, we're going to take a look at these all-weather floor mats and compare them to the OEM all-weather floor mats. The OEM floor mats have a lot to be desired, mainly in the area around the pedal. You can see there's some already slight staining on the carpet just from 4,000 miles of driving with the OEM all-weather floor mats. There is no lip up by the pedals, so if you drive your car in the winter and have a lot of snow stuck to your feet with salty snow on it, it's going to run forward and get all over the carpet before too long. There is some lips on the back side, all around all the other sides, but where it's most important is where your feet are most of the time, up by the pedals, and that does not have any kind of lip. So really kind of pointless design in my opinion, but they do fit the car very well. The rear, it's kind of the same story. They nest nicely in between the massive hump in the floor. You guys know I've ranted about how Honda brought this gigantic hump back into the 11th gen Civic between the seats when their older Civics had designed it out, and it was completely flat for a true 5-passenger vehicle. Unfortunately, it's back. So with that said, the floor mats are now split in the rear from the factory. There used to be one giant piece that went across in the older 8th gen Civics. So on the passenger side, similar story, but you get a little more coverage because you don't have the pedals. But this section here is almost flat with the carpet, and where I'm parked right now, pretty much all the slushy water from your feet would just run straight onto the carpet over here. But like I said, they fit the car good. But keep in mind, if you don't get these when you buy a brand new 11th gen Civic, not to worry, because I'm gonna end up taking mine out anyway here. Here is a look at the product. They are a very sharp looking all-weather floor mat. They have this consistent pattern throughout, and they don't have a bunch of deep ridges that look like something that might belong in a truck for an all-weather mat. They do have a nice lip all the way around, though it does get pretty shallow in some spots. Still should be plenty to collect any kind of water. That's the rear mat. It spans over the center hump in the rear. The fronts are very nice as well. They have this very concealed and non-obnoxious logo, which is off on the left. I was looking at the last fit mats. Everyone seems to get those. They are a little cheaper than these. These are kind of in the middle for the price range, and then if you want to go more expensive than these, you can get the Tux mats, which are probably the ultimate mat for the car. But I'm really digging how simple and clean these look. Minimal logo. The last fit has a giant logo across, which really makes the interior look cheesy in my opinion. They do have some good coverage up top here where the pedals are, and a nice reinforced area where your heel will sit. That's definitely a big wear area on mats. Inconspicuous logo off in the corner, and nothing obnoxious in the middle besides this nice, let's see if I can get a really good close-up, textured feel to it. I wonder how easy that will be to clean. I don't think it'll be too bad because this is like a rubberized surface. It's not fabric or anything. The back of these is interesting. It is like a fabric, so it's not really a rubber molded piece like the last fit or the OEM pieces. These is almost a little prickly, so I expect it to kind of grab the OEM carpet in the car, and these will not move around at all. The only other add-on to this package here is a couple little decorative caps that you put over the two spots on the driver's side floor mat to hide them, it looks like, which be interesting to see how easy they are to remove when you do have to pop these off the car to clean them. So here's just an example of the mats out of the car, the OEM all-weather mats. This is for minimal usage. You can see how much crud just accumulates on the front where there's no lip and gets underneath the mat. And like I said, this car's only got 4,000 miles and I've probably cleaned it 8 or 9 times already. So minimal usage. The OEM mats leave a lot to be desired. Another thing I think worth noting is the logo is actually like riveted to the mat. If you guys used WeatherTech in the past, or even Smart Liners we have for our 5th gen CRV over here, those just have the stuck-on adhesive logos, which when you pressure wash the mats can go flying off and leave a giant eyesore over time. They do give you 4 of these protective caps, so you'll have 2 extras in case you lose any or break any along the way. Okay, so here's a good look at the unit installed. I was expecting a little more coverage, honestly. I think they could have gone a little bit higher on the sides. There is a little bit of carpet exposed. However, you get the full dead pedal covered now, as well as way above the clutch and brake, and you have tons more coverage around the gas pedal. However, it does end here, and that is probably to avoid interfering with the full throttle capability and possibly being a hazard with sticking on the gas pedal for some situations. So that's why that's cut out like that. But huge ridge here to collect any kind of debris or water when you're driving or mud. So pushing the clutch down to the floor, you can see that there is no travel interferences. This clutch still hits the rubber stop, the OEM stop. So no concerns there. I think it's a really, really nice looking piece. The lip on the rear side is definitely the lowest, but the way the carpet contours in the car, this section's a lot higher. So anything that accumulates here will just run down towards the middle. Go ahead and pop these caps on. Not sure if they make it really any prettier than leaving them off, but it'll prevent rocks and any other kind of debris accumulating in that little hole. Here's a look at the passenger side. Honestly, I thought there would be a little more coverage than they give you. There is some carpet exposed up here, you know, about an inch section above this lip here. I think the lip in the rear is not as tall as the OEM all-weather mats. Over here, it's almost completely flat, but it's very unlikely that the people have their feet up in this area, I think, more so in this area, and you do get a lot bigger lips down here to collect all the crap. Okay, so the rear mat's interesting. I wanted to point out the OEM mat looks like it has just as aggressive, if not more aggressive, lips all the way around for the rear seat passengers than this one. Another thing worth noting is it goes at least a couple inches further underneath the seat versus the new one here. So keep that in mind. I'll overlay them here just so you can see how much further the OEM one extends upward. So you do get more coverage with the OEM one. And one thing worth noting is it's probably easier to remove these individual pieces and dump the stuff out. If you're only ever going to have 4 passengers and no one's ever going to put their feet on the center section here, it may be worth sticking with the OEM rears if they came with your car and only ordering a set of front mats, whether you decide to get these, the last fits, or the tux mats. I think that the OEM all-weather mats for the rear really aren't that bad. If you grab it the wrong way, it actually stabs you like pins and needles. I actually it took me by surprise when installing one of the mats so far. So that material will grab the OEM carpet very, very well. Probably better than the OEM ones that have little spikes coming out, little molded rubber spikes. But I'm curious if pulling these up and putting them down over the next 5 to 10 years will start to kind of like Velcro on the OEM carpet and start to pull up the OEM carpet and shred it a little bit. I'm not sure, I'm just speculating on that one, but something to keep in mind. Last but not least, here's a look at the rear. As I noted, this is with the seats all the way forward, just showing how much shorter it cuts off for how far it goes forward. But you get the coverage over the center. This doesn't lay perfectly flat. It kind of has a little bit of a arc to it in the middle, and same thing on the other side. So if you guys have the last fit, the tux mats, or any other brands in your car, leave a comment below to let me know if they have better coverage and what you'd like and dislike about them. Maybe helpful to other people shopping around. These aren't, I would say, a full win in every category, but they are some of the best looking mats that are probably second to tux mat, but a good amount cheaper than tux mat as well. So the trade-off may be worth it to you. As always, guys, leave a like, a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.